Hi everybody and welcome again. My name is Dr. Devorah Blumenau and I make videos about Laws of Brachot for the sake of the special Shmirah for our dear soldiers. Today's topic is, when does one bracha cover more than one food item? Like you said She'akol, can it cover only that item that you said She'akol on, or can it cover a few food items? So when I ask this question to people, if they know the answer, they would normally give me 1 out of 6, and that is kavanah. Yes, kavanah is definitely one of them, but there are more. So let's say that you have got, you said a bracha on ice cream, you said She'akol niya bidvaro, and you did have in mind to also cover sweets. So yes, the ice cream is covered and the sweets are covered because you had in mind to cover with one bracha 2 food items. Number 2. Rule number 2 is lefanav. Lefanav means that what's in front of you. So Chazal, our sages, know the nature of a person, that if you start eating and you've got items in front of you, your appetite starts rising and think, maybe I should also taste from this, and maybe I should also taste from that. And therefore Chazal said, if you said a certain bracha, let's say you said Borei Pri Ha'etz on mango, and you're enjoying your mango, and then in front of you there are other fruits with a bracha of Borei Pri Ha'etz. So they're all covered, even though you never had in mind to eat them. You were quite in a rush. You just had the mango quickly for breakfast and you had to run out, but you really felt like lychees and some oranges. They're covered even though you never had in mind to cover them, but they were in front of you. That's rule number 2. What about rule number 3? Rule number 3 is called kayotzebo. Kayotzebo means the exact same food item. So let's say you're on a diet and you took 1 slice of chocolate cake, and that's it. That's what's in front of you. You didn't intend to have more. You just wanted to have that 1 slice of chocolate cake because it looks delicious and you don't want any more calories. But as you're eating it, you're thinking, oh, it would be so nice to have another slice. It wasn't, you didn't have in mind, and it wasn't in front of you, but it is kayotzebo. It's the exact same food item. And Chazal know the nature of a person, that once you start eating from one thing, you might say, oh, I'd love a little bit more of it. It tastes so good. So this is rule number 3. So far we spoke about kavanah, intention, lefanav, in front of you, kayotzebo, the exact same food item. What is rule number 4? Rule number 4 is if you are a guest. So a guest depends on the dat of Baal Habayit, which means that the guest depends on what the owner of the house decides to bring. He is not the decision maker. So you come to a place and then they give you herbal tea and you are really enjoying it. You said She'akol. You didn't know that they made a whole meal there. Then slowly but surely they bring more stuff which is She'akol, and more are you going to say another bracha, another 10, 20 She'akol in that meal because you didn't have in mind, it wasn't in front of you, it's not the exact same food item. No, you won't, because you are a guest, and a guest depends on the dat of the Baal Habayit, on the decisions of the Baal Habayit, so you are covered. So we spoke about intention, we spoke about in front of you, we spoke about the exact same food item, we spoke about a guest. Then the next would be same family. That's a little bit of a complicated halacha, because I'm not very clear of the definition. I'm trying to find out, but if it's a food item of the same family, like fruits are all the same family, vegetables are all the same family, nuts are all the same family, cakes are all the same family. Therefore, if you said, let's say, mezonot on a strudel, and you didn't have in mind to have any other cake, no other cake was in front of you, whatever you're going to be having is not the exact same food item, because now you feel like a piece of cheesecake with a thick bottom, and then the whole thing becomes mezonot, and you're not a guest, but yet it is from the same family. So since it is from the same family, Rabbi Falk explained to us, as long as you have got a little bit left in the plate in front of you of the previous cake that you were eating, then the new cake is going to be covered, even though none of the previous conditions took place. So let's just revise. If you had in mind to cover, it is covered. If the item was in front of you, it was covered. Obviously, we're talking about the same bracha. She'akol is not going to be covering Adama. Adama is not going to be covering Ha'etz. Mezonot is not going to be covering other things unless you really had in mind and it is possible for it to cover, which is another topic, which maybe I'll cover another time. But I'm talking about the same bracha covering a few food items, not different brachot, just to make it clear. Okay, so back to the same mishpacha, same family. You had some sweets in front of you and you said she'akol. And then you feel like some more sweets, which are different kinds of sweets. You didn't have in mind to eat them. They were not in front of you. It's not the exact same food item. You're not a guest, but yet it's the same family, and you still have a little bit of the one sweet left or half a sweet left of the previous ones. Then it is fine, and that initial she'akol would cover the rest of the sweets for that meal. Lastly, it is what's more important. So anything from Shivat HaMinim, from the 7 species that Israel was blessed by, would cover anything that's not from Shivat HaMinim, not from the 7 species, even though you didn't have in mind to cover anything else. You just were busy eating a pomegranate, and you didn't have in mind to have, let's say you got back to the mango, and the mango wasn't in front of you. It's not the exact same food item because that is pomegranate and that is a mango. You're not a guest, you're at your own home. But since the pomegranate is more important than the mango, because the pomegranate is from the 7 species and the mango is not from the 7 species, therefore the mango was covered. Even within the 7 species there is an order of importance. Whatever is closer to the word Eretz in the verse is more important. So it goes Eretz chita u'seora, gefen te'ena verimon, Eretz zeit shemen udvash. The fruit that's closest to the word Eretz would be Zait. Eretz, Zait, shemen udvash. Hey, what about the wheat and the barley that I mentioned earlier? Well, that's not fruit, so that's a different story. That's mezonot or hamotzi. So that's out of the question for now. Now we're dealing with ha'etz. So Zait would be the most important out of Shivat HaMinim. That is number 1. Then Eretz chita u'seora gefen, te'ena verimon. Eretz zeit shemen udvash. Dvash is the second one. That is date. That's honey. It means dates. Dates is number 2. What would be number 3? Eretz chita u'seora, a land of wheat and barley. Gefen, a grape. Te'ena, fig, verimon, and pomegranate. Eretz zeit shemen udvash. So the third one would be gefen, which is anavim, which is grapes. And then comes te'ena, the fig, that is number 4. And rimon is the least important, number 5. And somebody said that there is a sign to remember what's more important. So the zait has got 1 pep, and the tamar, the date, has got a big pep. And then in the grapes, there are about 3 pips in one. And then te'ena has got quite a few seeds inside, and rimon has got 613. So the bigger the pep or the more peps, the less important. I heard that it's got to do with the Kabbalah or the Klippa. The more shell, the more the non-edible, the less kedusha. But I need to find out more about that. And obviously, I didn't include it in the 6, but another situation that you all know about is hamotzi, where 1 hamotzi can cover the entire meal except for desserts. So I hope that helped, and I really hope that these videos are going to help our dear soldiers. Please can you share with other people so that our soldiers will have more protection. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sending much love.